Dear students, today we will start your next chapter, that is the fundamental unit of life. So first of all, what is considered to be the fundamental unit of life? Cells are considered to be the smallest structural and functional unit of life. So how this cell word came into being? Cell is a Latin word which means a little room. The cell was discovered by Robert Hooke. It was purely a chance discovery by him, in which he observed a cork cell under a microscope. Cork is a substance which comes from bark of a tree. So he observed a cork cell under a microscope, and what he see was that there were small honeycomb-like structures which were observed, and these structures were later known to be the cell. So these cells are very small and they cannot be seen by naked eyes. So whole of our structure, whether it is for plants or for animals, we are entirely made up of these small units called cells. As a building is made up of bricks, many bricks combine together to form a building or a wall, in the same manner, many cells combine together to form the tissues, tissues combine together to form the organs, organs combine together to form the organ systems, and organ systems lead to the formation of the organisms. So these cells are of two types. They are the prokaryotic cells and eukaryotic cells. The bacterial cells are considered to be the prokaryotic cells, while the plant cells and animal cells are the eukaryotic cells. So this was the honeycomb-like structure which was observed by Robert Hooke under the microscope, which led to the discovery of the cells. So let us see what are the important discoveries of biology, or the discoveries which are related to the cell. So first of all, in 1665 Robert Hooke discovered cell. Then Anton van Leeuwenhoek found bacteria. He found a free living cells in pond water and they were termed to be the bacteria. Then nucleus was discovered by Robert Brown. Purkinje discovered protoplasm. The cell theory was given by Sheldon and Schumann in plants and animals separately, and Rudolf Virchow told that all the cells arise from pre-existing cells. None of the cell is new, they all are arising from the earlier cells. So what are living organisms made up of? Just now I told you that all living organisms are made up of cells. That is, the building block of all living organisms is the cell. These cells can be easily seen in an onion peel, and the shape and size of these cells differ from each other as per their functions. The cells have specific functions. All the cells carry out specific functions, and according to their specific function, their shape and size differ from each other. They can be cuboidal, they can be polygonal in shape, they can be elliptical in shape, they can be small, or they can be very large. So the smallest cell observed till now is of PPLO. So what is PPLO? It is pleuropneumonia-like organism. They are also known as mycoplasma. The largest cell which is observed till now is that of ostrich egg. Then in case of the human being, the smallest cell in our body is red blood cells, and the largest cell of human beings is the nerve cell or neurons. So here are the figures for each of them. The smallest cell, PPLO, Mycoplasma colony. This is also the colony. The zoomed figure is of the colony, not of the individual cell, as you can see. The largest cell, the ostrich egg. In case of the human beings, smallest cell in our body, that is RBC. And in case of our body, in case of human beings, the largest cell is the neuron or the nerve cell. Now let's come to unicellular and multicellular organisms. As the name itself indicates, unicellular. Uni means single and cellular means cell. So the organisms which are made up of a single cell, they come under the category of unicellular organism, and the different examples are amoeba, euglena, bacteria, etc. Now comes multicellular. Multi means many, cellular means cells. So when many of these cells come together, they group together, they form a single organism, and such type of organisms are known as multicellular organisms. The different examples are fungi, plants and animals. So like I told you just now, that the different cells which are present in our body or in the body of any of the organism, they perform different functions. Each of the cell is designated as specific function, and each and every multicellular organism has come up from a single cell itself. Thus all the cells come from pre-existing cells, and that is omnis cellulae cellula. This was told by Rudolf Virchow, who after his several discoveries found out that all the cells come from the pre-existing cells. Now cells which are produced from single cell, they differentiate and they perform different functions, and they are having different structures. So in case of the multicellular organisms, division of labor is observed. So now what is division of labor? It means that different parts of an organism perform different function. Like in our case, in the case of human beings, the function of brain is performed by the nerve cells. The whatever cells which are present in our respiratory system, they carry out the function of respiration, breathing in our body. The cells which are present in the alimentary canal or in the digestive system, they help us in carrying out the process of nutrition or digestion and absorption of the food to the maximum extent. So as you can see, each and every part of our body is performing different function, and this different function is carried out by the different cells from which these particular parts are made up of. So as I told you just now, that these cells are having specific functions, specific role in our body, and thus they follow the division of labor. So here you can see some of the examples of unicellular organisms. Here is an example of amoeba, here is an example of euglena, and this is the example of paramecium. And in case of the multicellular organism, anything which we are observing around us, the plants which we observe around us, the different kind of animals which we observe around us, ants, birds, tiger, jackal, bear, tortoise, owl. So all these organisms which are made up of more than one cell, they are known as multicellular organisms. So students, today we will stop here and we'll continue further in our next lecture. Thank you very much.